Welcome to the Phyllis Wattis Theater in the Museum of Modern Art. Is this a nice place or what? Thank you. I'm Joel Selvin. Some of you with long memories may recall my work as the pop music critic of the San Francisco Chronicle. Last 10 years or so I've been writing books, and Natasha sent me her galley proofs and, looked for a jacket blurb, so I'm qualified as actual reader of Relentless. I met Natasha 10 years ago when she had, discovered's not the right word, but had met an old-time R&B songwriter named Bobby Sharp, who had written Unchain My Heart for Ray Charles, and then just fell out of the music business immediately thereafter and into drug addiction, and then eventually into drug rehabilitation, and eventually into drug counseling. Amazing guy. He was 79 years old. He had been 35 years, 40 years out of the music business, and he and Natasha ran across each other in Alameda. And she did a CD of this guy's songs and a gig where she presented his repertoire. And that's where I walked in as the newspaper writer. It sounded like a good story to me, and indeed it was. Bobby Sharp couldn't believe what had happened to him, and Natasha had lifted this guy up and put him back where he had belonged for a long time. And he was not, he was so ready for that. He was upright and sober and strong, and it was really a beautiful thing. So, thus introduced to Natasha, I was made aware of her as a jazz singer, and then as a event producer, and just followed her on the periphery of things. But then Relentless came along, and I don't know how well any of us really know those people that we work with. But to read Natasha's story is truly amazing. And my respect and regard and appreciation for her is just, magnified many times. It's hard to write a book anyway, but it's especially hard to write about yourself. The levels of honesty are just so difficult to plumb. And you know that when you're cheating, and you know when you're holding back. And in Natasha's case, I could feel her urgency to express herself and to get it on the page and to have it be there in its sort of bold, naked candor. It's a shocking book. It's a warm book. It's a book with redemption. And, I just hope you all get a chance to immerse yourself in this wonderful book, Relentless, that Natasha has written. We have a little film strip for you. Yes, go ahead. Relentless.
I knew a girl, it might even be me.
This is a story you've never heard before. A story of hope in the face of despair, of success in spite of all the obstacles, of grit and tenacity. And it's all true. This is a blistering account of one woman's incredible journey. From a young girl forced out of her home by her mother's threats, taken to a youth shelter on Christmas night, to redefining her life on her own terms by pursuing her dreams and talents, playing on some of the biggest stages in the world, and building a multi-million-dollar business from the ground up. She was too young to do it all alone, yet took the steps to make it on her own. This is a story that proves it's not enough to be resilient. You've got to be relentless, by Natasha Miller. Homeless Teen to Achieving the Entrepreneur Dream, a memoir you won't be able to put down. Get your copy today. Be relentless.
Hello? All right. It's showtime. It's star time. Welcome, please, to the Phyllis Wattis Theater stage, the star of the night, the relentless lady herself, Miss Natasha Miller.
I knew a girl, it might even be me, making a way to a destiny. Along the road, her mom got in the way. Really from the start, some might say, hey. This excerpt that I'm going to read to you happens when I was 16 years old on Christmas Day in Des Moines, Iowa. I pull loose and dash up the stairs, ducking into my bedroom and locking the door with its skeleton key. Heart pounding. I grab the phone and stare at the touch tone button, stabbing the numbers in succession. 9, 1. I've held this phone so many times, staring at the numbers, pressing the first 2, losing my nerve. You don't call the cops, not for situations like this. You just don't. But I can't live this way anymore. So with shaky fingers, I punch the final digit. 1. Emergency 911. What is your location? The voice on the line asks. My mom is trying to kill me, I say quietly. I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Scared that she might be listening, I whisper slightly louder. My mom said she's going to try to kill me. Please help me, I beg, quickly reciting my address. No one comes upstairs to check on me. Not my brothers, not even my dad. I'm sure he hopes the drama is over. I'm still shaking and my brain spins. I start to feel dizzy. Will somebody really come to help? Minutes later, my father's strange voice echoes up the stairs. Linda, the police are here, he says, sounding surprised. I peek out my bedroom window. 2 police officers walk up our front step, boots crunching on the ice. I crack my door so I can hear what they're saying, worried that I've somehow made a terrible situation worse. Here she comes, she's all grown up, riding in on her good luck. She paid so dearly for, she really ought to have asked for more. Still she's come to see what's behind that door. made it, but I'm so cold inside tonight. I head out front, load the trash bag into the back of our Mazda GLC wagon, and climb inside where Dad and my brother Justin were waiting. GLC stands for Great Little Car, but the Mazda is a rusted-out rattletrap with a muffler dragging sparks. It also backfires at the most inopportune times, sounding like gunshots ringing down our street. This does not help with my self-esteem. We drive in silence past piles of dirty, gray snow and head downtown. I have no idea what to expect. My mind flip-flops, anxiety to hope, imagining some swank old mansion filled with kids like me and a kind, motherly figure who listens to our stories, offering comfort and hope. But wait, what if it sucks? Even worse than home. Dad swings the wagon into the lot. One lone light shines from the building's bland facade. The sign below the light reads YES, Y-E-S-S, and in smaller letters below, Youth Emergency Shelter Service. We hurry to the door. It's freezing, and in the madness of getting out of the house, I forget my coat. So at this point, I'm in this not so great, but very welcomed, safe place in Des Moines, Iowa. But there's talk of foster care. But I'm studying the violin with a college professor at Drake University. And I decide at that point to put my foot down and say, no, I am not going somewhere 200 miles away or so. I'm going to figure a way out. And figure a way out, I did. The next song that we're gonna do is a song that I wrote a few years ago, maybe more than a few, maybe 7, about hopes that I had for Christmases back then and for future Christmases. Children sing, and sleigh bells ring, and snow is falling gently. Popcorn strung, and lights are hung, holiday songs are singing. Feels like Christmas time is near. Gifts are bought, it's more the thought, and I remember clearly just what Christmas time could be. Could be. Fires roar, gas through the door, and all smile gleefully. Toasts are made, and warmth exchanged, and all live merry, happy. Looks like Christmas time is here. Morning has come, and you rush down the stairs. It's a magical time, and it makes you well aware of what Christmas time could be. children sing, and sleigh bells ring, and snow is falling gently. That's what Christmas time means. In 4th grade, when I was 10, a music teacher named Mr. Carlson came to Perkins Elementary for an all-school assembly. He had mossy brown hair that he wore in a comb-over and was dressed in an ancient polyester suit. Mr. Carlson held up a violin, and he said he was looking to recruit students for free lessons. "Can I have a volunteer?" he asked, lifting the violin higher. "Who wants to give it a try?" I thrust my hand up into the air. Kids across the auditorium did the same. Somehow, out of hundreds of outstretched hands, he chose mine. I walked to the front and placed the violin under my chin as the teacher instructed. He positioned my fingers around the frog of the bow and placed it against the strings. With a nod from him, I pulled the bow back, and the strings came to life. Years later, I met an incredible woman by the name of Fredrika von Stade. Some of you here know her pretty well. We call her Licka. I used to volunteer with her at different philanthropic events, one being Music in Schools Today. And she asked me to perform a song. And I was like, oh gosh, okay, this is where like celebrities perform. Like Joel Selvin's probably been there. And so I decided to do not a cover, which I was really used to doing, and not a song that I had written that everyone had heard already, but I wrote one just for this event. And this is it. Magic blew through the auditorium, yielding answers in a cloud of delirium. As he called on me, you with your hand up high, you look as though you'd like to give this a try. He said, you're a natural, you should really play. I teach group lessons every Friday. We have instruments here for you to use. Which one do you want? You get to choose. To my parents and said, I've got really good news. I get to play the violin in school. Don't you worry, everything is free. I never imagined that this could be happening to me. You're a natural, you should really play. I teach group lessons every Friday. We have instruments here for you to use. Which one do you want? You get to choose. as you'd sing a melody. I was proud, confident and clear. The music never disappear. You're a natural, you should really play. I teach group lessons every Friday. We have instruments here for you to use. Which one do you want? You get to choose. Thank you. We're still talking about Mr. Carlson now. He taught me using the Suzuki books, but I really didn't know how to read anything above an E on the staff. Mostly, I learned to play by ear, basically faking my way through my first violin concerto, Vivaldi's Concerto in E minor. Do you want to hear what that was like? Does anyone know that song? Okay, if you have kids, you do, that play the violin. So a little rusty, but I loved the second movement, which was. I could go on, but you know why I like that second one is because I was able to feel and show people how I was feeling. If Mr. Carlson knew I was faking, he didn't seem to care because he kept giving me little round stickers that said, "Good job." Some of the stickers were the scratch and sniff kind that smelled like strawberries or hot chocolate. My favorite was buttered popcorn. I kept those books with me, stickers on the front, and if I close my eyes, or if I open one of those Relentless boxes, I can still smell the popcorn. So I'm going to do something impromptu, which is normal for me. I would like to see if I could get the house lights up because I'm going to take a picture of you all. Hold on. I need to remember that. How are you going to take a picture? Oh, thank you. Hi, you guys. Oh my God. It's like, oh boy. Okay, this side. Oh, we have an actual photographer. Oh. But oh, this is more fun, right? You want to come on up? A what?
Yeah, it's us.
Wait, where'd you go? I'm not doing all of this to not get a photo of you all. You were so dapper. You're welcome. You want them all to speak? Do you guys know why you have to say your name in the camera? I mean, some of you do if you're like socialites, but if if the San Francisco magazine chooses to publish the pictures you're in, then they'll be able to know who the heck you are. Hold on, people. Now I'm feeling really relaxed and comfortable. God only knows what's going to happen now. That'll do for rock and roll. In 1995, baby Bennett was born. I looked into her eyes, fell in love, and had an epiphany. Why would I hand my child over to a stranger for 10 hours a day? I was pretty good at freelancing. I could play music and start doing graphic design. I could work from home and raise my baby girl. Being a mom turned my world upside down. All the love I never got from my own mother came flooding into my life in a different form. I was able to be the sort of mother that I'd always longed for. Finally, I could give and receive unconditional love. It was a miracle, and it still is.
You held me in your arms that first night, careful not to squeeze too tight. You sang to me a lullaby. Now I know what it means to fly up to the sky, over the moon. I'll be back soon. Let go as I took my first steps. You were amazed when I could write my name. Now our lives will never be the same. Came to play. Love your life and have a blast.
You see, things are getting better in the story, and they're just going to keep getting better. Hold on a second while I have some water. My friend Heather Cassidy from Wish Special Events sent these to me backstage. Aren't they beautiful? And outside and in the atrium, Jane Hammond from her new farm has a lot of flowers too, so I think it'll be beautiful. I haven't seen it out there. It's going to be a great reveal. So we're moving on a little bit in the story. And this part is pretty difficult to read, but at 9 months pregnant, with my son, Aiden. I made my debut with the Oakland East Bay Symphony. With a crowd of 2,000 people before me, the orchestra began the haunting introduction to My Sleep, a song I had written. Hand on my swelling belly, I began to sing. You came to me in a dream last night. How lovely it was. And you told me you loved me because your world didn't have me, and slowly you're alive. I know there'll be a time and place where love won't feel like such a race. Till then, I'll stay here in my sleep, alone. I wasn't debuting as a violinist, but as a vocalist. The entire orchestra was playing a song that I wrote. I was shaking and not in the best voice, but loved that I was performing this piece with my unborn baby inside. I could imagine telling him about the performance when he was older, showing photos from that night, pushing the hair back from his sweet face while singing the song a cappella for him. As we went into the chorus, my baby kicked, and I knew he could feel the music all around us. I caught his tiny foot and massaged it back to rest. At 37 weeks pregnant, I began to feel contractions and reported to the hospital. The maternity nurse called my OBGYN. She was told to give me a shot of morphine and send me home. Baby Aiden didn't make it, and I almost died. After over a month of recovery, I got back on my feet and started singing once again. After doing enough gigs at cafes and clubs, I discovered that the money was in jazz and started a second record called Talk to Me Nice. KCSM in San Mateo agreed to play tracks and invited me on for an interview. The next night, my phone rang. Natasha Miller, the man on the line, asked, "This is Bobby Sharp. I just heard you on KCSM. Your voice is beautiful." Okay, thanks. I'm a songwriter, he said, and I'd love to send you some of my songs if that's okay. Yeah, sure, I said, not knowing what to expect. You might know one of the songs I wrote, Sharp said. Probably not, I thought. With great pride and enunciation, he continued. Unchain my heart, baby, let me be. Unchain my heart, 'cause you don't care about me. The old Ray Charles tune, I thought. Who didn't know that song? Uh-oh, what had I gotten myself into? I didn't sing like Ray Charles, or Joe Cocker, who'd had a hit with the song in more recent years. A few days later, I received a package with the lead sheet, handwritten note, and cassette tape of Bobby playing and singing his song, My Magic Tower. Though it was a demo, the performance was riveting. I knew I had to record this song. I'm under your spell. like a man in a trance. But I know darn well that I don't stand a chance. I called Bobby back and asked him to meet me at a coffee shop in Alameda, close to where he lived. He hesitated, saying he didn't get out much anymore, but finally agreed. An old red Cadillac rolled up and parked at the curb of the coffee shop. Bobby stepped out. He was stooped and skinny, wearing a loose-fitting, faded blue jacket and jeans. We spent a couple of hours talking about life and music. After 40 years in the music business, Bobby had given up trying to get his songs published and had become a drug counselor until his retirement in '89. Since then, he'd spent his days visiting the homeless in West Oakland, helping friends and neighbors or even strangers he read about in the paper. He didn't say any of this in a bragging way, just matter of fact. At age 79, Bobby preferred a quiet life. Unchain my heart, baby, let me go. Unchain my heart, 'cause you don't love me no more. Every time you call me on the phone, some fella tells me that you're not at home. So unchain my heart, set me free. Unchain my heart, set me free. Unchain my heart, set me free. Set me free. That's for you, Bobby. He's with me every day. After losing Aiden, I felt a pull to honor Bobby's gift of the song My Magic Tower. I had transposed it and performed it for Saturdays in Alameda for the crowd, including Bobby. In my magic tower, when the day is through, I stay by the hour and dream of you, and remember the hilltops we used to climb, and smell the aroma of tall growing pine. In my magic tower, when I'm feeling blue, I handle the flowers that once belonged to you, and I can still feel your fingers on their long green stems, and thrill to the touch of you as the sunlight ends. So moving along, a few years past that, a lot of you know that I started entire productions in about 2001. I have clients and artists and vendors, and my team is here. It's a little daunting to be doing this, but as a lot of you know, for 20 years I've been running that company, but in the last few years my team has really stepped up to the plate and has made it even more amazing than it ever was before. I also learned a little bit on hiring and developing and letting people just do what they're really good at doing. I see a couple of them right over here. If we could move the spotlight, we can't. You would see Annalisa and Madeline right there. And Katie. And Sarah and Kate. I don't know where they're at. They're probably like out there getting the party ready for you. As you know too, we did 3 times on the Inc. 5000 list of fastest growing companies in the country. So that was a huge milestone. Thank you. Thank you. But I also had the incredible opportunity to study for the first time, really, after going to college on a full ride scholarship for violin. I didn't know what I was really doing in life, and all I wanted to do was music, and I really didn't learn a lot in college that I was supposed to. But I eventually got to go to Harvard, that school on the East Coast, and MIT, which I'm still in a program there for their entrepreneurial master's programs, and the Goldman Sachs 10K SV. So I'm climbing my way up, and things are getting better, and things are really great now. So, I know it's been a little rough few half hour here, but it's gonna start coming back up. I think this is a really good time for me to tell you who these guys are behind me. We have a long, long history. Everyone except for Jesse on the piano. Jesse, everyone gives... Jesse actually plays, this is Jesse Levitt, he plays with the Cliptones and a bunch of other bands, and we send out the Cliptones all the time on events, and I had no idea that he was in the band. This is like the first time I'm meeting him. We did have 2 rehearsals. He didn't just show up. Anyway, behind me on drums is Dan Foltz from Alameda. He played on a couple records. He's on that first record of mine, Her Life. And then, who's behind me here? Dan Feiszli. It's really hard to keep track of these guys. They're so nice. But we've been playing for about 20 years together, on and off. He also you recorded one record with me? One record, and it's really good. Which one was it? The Season? I'm terrible with names, that's what he said. And then there's Jeff Pearlman on the end, and I would love to give a talk mic to him, because he would just completely have you on in stitches all night, but it might be inappropriate also. Okay, so yeah, let's do it. We're gonna do a song that I just love. It's on a record that, that you produced. Oh, that's the one. It's called Spin Vintage. That's the one that, yes, that's the one. Spin Vintage with Adam Thies and the Jazz Mafia, right? Yes, okay. He's just going with it. Okay. He knew it all along. Okay. Smile, though your heart is aching. Smile, even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you'll get by. If you smile through your fears and sorrows, smile, and maybe tomorrow you'll see the sun come shining through for you. Light up your face with gladness, hide every trace of sadness, although our tears may be ever so near. That's a time you must keep on trying. Smile, what's the use of crying? You'll find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile. That song on the record is slightly faster than that, and I had to slow it down because I can't do that fast singing anymore. Some of you are like, why did she just do that? But the singers here will know. Nobody's hooped and hollered yet. Get it out. Thanks. I just needed you to do that while I was having some water. Okay, where are me and my incredible story? Oh, did you guys know, who here does not know that we are #1 of all books on barnesandnoble.com? What? And this book is #1 on like lots of categories on Amazon, including women in business, entrepreneurship, nonfiction, like every nonfiction book written, including like maybe Selvin's. I don't know. He's got 3 books coming up in the next couple of years. So, and if you don't know, he has a lot of other books that you should read too. Okay, now I'm going on a tangent. I do have books in the lobby that you guys can grab. It would help me this week if you wanted a book to get it on Amazon, because that just pushes up the numbers. We're going for the Wall Street Journal bestseller list, and I'm going for not just to be on the list, but #1, right? Because I'm relentless. I'm also teaching people how to write their own story and how to write their own memoir. And I see Stephanie Camarillo, who just drove here from Boise, Idaho, on a whim, who is working on her book, too. I should mention also, there's a couple people, one that I've never met before, but I know her, through how we know people now, Zoom and such. Alicia flew in from San Diego last minute. She's right there, but I didn't know that. We have people from Colorado that flew in, and Michelle Murray. We have people from the book that are here. My family didn't come. I just thought it would be too hard on them to hear all of this, like in a theater full of people except for Bennett. But Michelle Murray is here, and Roger Becker is here, and some other people are here that I changed their names. You'll never know who they are, but they know who they are. So, that's all I have to say for right now. Song I love. It references some places in Des Moines, County. It'll happen a long time ago, in the summer of 1984. The air was thick, the pavement hot. That's where the story got its start. Wow, we're running right on time, entire productions people. Like, is the room ready? Okay. So Stephanie knows what's going to happen next. I mean, she doesn't actually know what's going to happen next, but she experienced what's about to happen next. Do you want to tell them what's going to happen? Do you know? No, she doesn't know. My, how time flies. It was just January 10th when we did this together. So we're going to do a sing-along. And if you don't sing, the band's going to stop playing, and we're just going to stand here, and I'll call your name out or something like that. Anyway, who has a bucket list here written out? Raise your hand. Oh, wow. I mean, a little higher. There's like 3 of you? Do you have a bucket list, Bennett? In your notes app. Carlos has one. Okay, so whenever I hear somebody saying about their bucket list, like they want to go skydiving or they want to go to some crazy, wonderful place, I'm like, yeah, I'm not into that. Like, I'm living the life I love right now. I don't like to travel, and I don't like fancy cars, and I love where I live. And I'm going to do something right now, and I'm going to say, I have moved to Oakland, California, to Jingletown, and I would like to have my Jingletown neighbors stand up and show themselves, and give them a round of applause. Matt! Okay, nobody knows what I'm going to do next. What should I do next? Okay, so we're going to play a song that actually happens to be my bucket list. I didn't realize I had one. I just have one in song. And I want you to sing along with the chorus. At some point, you'll get what it is. It's a little weird, but you'll get it, and you'll do it. Okay.
Faraway land, not find myself, no, not alone, but holding on to my lover's hand. Before I die, before I die, before I die, before I die. Across the Aegean Sea, discover new things, discover me. With the will and all my might, I'll find my peace in the new moon's light. Before I die, before I die, really loud, you guys. Daughter deserved. Improve the generations after
after me. This is my most meaningful legacy. Before I die, before I die, before I die, before I die. Come on, you guys. Before I die, before I die, before I die. Let's do it again, okay? Everybody sing. Before I die, before I die, before I Thank you so much. So before we go, I have some people that I need to recognize a little more properly than I was doing all the rest of this night. So thank you so much to Patty and Julio of JL Imagination for having my back like all the time. If you saw the Christmas special I did last year, it was done in their studio with 8 moving head cameras like crazy, incredible lighting, and they did the lighting tonight and the sound for the atrium, so thank you to them. Thank you also to my dear friend and like a fellow Iowan, Jim Bruels of this San Francisco MoMA. I don't know where you are, but thank you. To the San Francisco Magazine, who is our client and a friend, please take a magazine when you leave. They wrote an entire page about me in the publisher's letter, so I'm really, really happy about that. They're a sponsor. And AllSeated, that is an industry company, but they're amazing. And if you're at my summit, they're the ones that have that incredible metaverse platform. And my team, Madeline, who's still here, dressed in the Relentless colors, and Annalisa, Katie, Kate, and Sarah, who are probably out there getting the party started. My launch team, Patty and Amber, and of course, Joel Selvin, who is still here, yes. And some of the proceeds from the book sales, if I actually make any, just kidding, and my speaking fee will be going to the Covenant House. And if you don't know about them, they are a homeless shelter. There's one in Oakland. There's they're dotted all over America, and I think some Canadian cities. I'm not sure exactly where. Yes, okay, great. Really good organization, and it's similar to the place that I stayed when I was 16 for that time. So that's it. I'm going to pull Joel Selvin up here and have him say something witty. And, I mean, you know. Joel Selvin.
What a great show, Natasha.
Thank you, Joel.
What? I mean, it's so rare to be in a public place and have someone be able to reveal themselves and share themselves so fully and completely. It's a pleasure to be here, Natasha. Very special night, don't you think?
Thank you to Joel. Thank you to this incredible band who really was humoring me by doing this, because I don't do this every day. They do this every day. We will all see you in the atrium. You can go out this way. I'm sure people will show you. I'll be out there in a moment. I cannot wait to see you all. Thank you so much.